Go to double belly option. One, two, Tommy boy. So I'm gonna roll our little red thing. Then I'm gonna do our an uneducated production. We're gonna have a video for everyone today. And go.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah, Jesus?
You ready for this?
Yep, sure am.
'Cause when I pull this lever, it's going to start the rapture. And all the true Christians are going to come from earth and land here in the kingdom of God.
Yep.
You want to do this together? Do this as a team? Count down?
Annoying.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do.
Let's count down from 5. Ready?
I like 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rapture. Hey, where's everybody?
Yeah, Jesus, this is kind of what I was worried about. Everybody on Earth is a pretty bad sinner.
Everybody? I mean, surely somebody is worthy of the kingdom of heaven, though.
No, not really. I mean, really, between the hatred, violence, and bad stand-up specials, there's nobody down. I mean, internet porn itself makes it so 99% of humans can't get up here. I really... Have you seen what they wrote about you on Twitter?
I have an account, but I don't ever check it.
I wouldn't check it. It's just not going to be good for your self-esteem. I just think we're gonna have to lower the bar quite a bit if you want to get people into the club, if you know what I mean.
Into the club.
The bar is pretty low as it is. I mean, I am a forgiving kind of guy. You know the crucifixion? I was up there, forgave everybody's sins and stuff. They're supposed to show up right now.
Yeah, no,
Where-
you bring it up. I know. But I just don't think. Oh, spoke too soon. Someone's coming. It's Kirk Cameron.
You know what? Tell him I'm not here.
I love that.
Kirk, go back down. That punch is not for you.
You're stealing.
You didn't ask. That's stealing. You can't come in.
Okay, and movie time is over.
And it's Friday.
You wanna you wanna pick that theology apart?
The theology?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm not sure about that whole rapture thing. I think it might all
That's
be...
where you're gonna start?
Yeah, why not?
I figure one of my favorite things is everyone's a pretty bad sinner.
Yeah.
As if their works are gonna
Right.
get them up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
No, that's definitely good. But, well, Jesus kind of made the note, hey, I'm a forgiving guy. I got up on the cross. Thing,
Yeah.
Kind of made that little thing. But ultimately, yeah, you're right. It's that's one of the reasons why we can't get there, because without Jesus, we're done.
sure. No, so that made it accurate.
Right.
Yeah. If
Right.
if it was left to our own works,
Yeah.
there'll be nobody there.
But the whole rapture thing, I mean, I see that as Jesus coming down in judgment, and that whole thing happening where we're changed, that whole thing happening at one time. I don't see the rapture happening and then Jesus coming down later and all that stuff. So, but that's just my opinion on it. I've only studied the Bible for about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years when it comes to Revelation, just really intensely, and so. But I think if Ralph were online, he would probably say he believes in the rapture.
You think so?
I think so.
You
I
think-
think he's a rapture dude.
You think he's that liberal?
Yeah. He definitely had an issue 2 weeks ago with me saying that, and we've had this discussion before, but
You're not talking out of turn here. Talking out of school.
no, we've had the discussion before, and if he gets online, he'll talk about it if he wants. But just the idea that Jesus, when he was on the cross, the Father, did not turn his back on him, did not forsake him, and people, I think scripturally, you can't prove that he forsook Jesus on the cross, but. And the only thing they have is, my God, why have you forsaken me? Well, why would Jesus say that? Well, why did David say that then? Because at the end of the psalm, in Psalm 22, David found out that he had not been forsaken. So why would David say something if it weren't true? Well, okay, so now we're going to play that game with Jesus and say, why did Jesus say it? Well, Jesus said it probably in fulfillment of prophecy, a prophetic message that in this sin, it appears that in my flesh that God has forsaken me. That's how I feel. And so how could there's nothing wrong with Jesus saying how he feels, but that doesn't mean that it actually happened. Because when you get to the end of Psalm 22, he was not forsaken. And same thing with Jesus. Jesus was not forsaken. Matter of fact, he was talking to the Father the whole time on the cross. And at the end, he says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. At the end, he says, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. He tells the thief on the cross, today you'll be with me in paradise. How's he going to know that if he feels he's been forsaken?
Right.
Or if he is truly forsaken? So I have a lot of questions, and I don't think it works that the Father forsook him. But, of course, for years, the theology has been that God turned his face away, and somehow there was a separation between him and
The
God.
Father turned his face away. Jerks.
Excuse me.
All right, I sent that link didn't work. You're invited. Oh, now he's sending me links.
This always gets fun. So today is April Fool's.
April Fools.
So I don't know if you guys knew this, but that wasn't sausage we made today.
No.
No.
Was it Unbeliever Burger?
Yeah, it was beyond tofu. And you guys thought you were eating sausage, so April Fools.
Ralph, if you're listening, I joined your link. You're probably trying to join my link. This is the problem with doing it at 10 a.m.
Uh-huh.
That's when our show starts.
Yeah. What time is it? It's 10:07.
It's working with our camera when we
10:11.
do this. I heard something. Still no Ralph there, though. On hold.
You're on hold. He seriously, he put us on hold? He can't do that.
Resume.
Oh, well.
Leave. How was your call quality?
This is what it takes to get people in from across the country. So, what are we talking about today, boys?
I don't know. I feel like a podcast where we just sit in front of a camera for an hour, not say anything.
Okay. That's good.
I feel like if we do an hour of just sitting here quiet, it would be so different than the rest of the world. People would watch it.
Just us looking at each other?
Yeah.
All right, let's
I mean, really, that's what's not being done. Everybody else is just yakking.
yeah, let's do
Yakking.
it.
We're just yakking.
I'm good with that.
Are you texting Ralph?
No. I don't care.
I don't care.
Why? How do I get these emails of people that go? They put it as a respond, like like I sent them something, make it look like they're getting back to me because I sent them something, and then you go to open it, and so you have to be really careful because they're not. You didn't send them anything. They're just using that as a cover so you open up their email.
I feel like I hear someone.
I thought I heard something too.
Ralph, are you with us?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I am.
I can't find you. Where are you?
Why are you talking so low?
I'm in
Ralph?
San Diego.
San Diego.
The land. I was gonna say something. I can't.
I'm joining all the meetings that I could possibly join. I can't find you, Ralph. Are you gone again? I'm thinking that was bad.
You hung up on him?
All right, are you back?
No, he's there.
There you are.
I'm here.
All right. Oh,
It's good to have you, Ralph.
Good to be here.
although I do have to tell you, I don't know if the work required to keep you here is worth it.
Uh-huh.
Bro, all you have to do is set up a regular Teams account. We don't even have to send links. We just meet at the same time on the same channel.
We should have that already.
I've invited you before. You didn't accept it.
I did. I clicked on it.
Well,
This is too
You have to
common.
log into it too,
This is
because
too.
it says that you're logged in as a guest right now.
Well, because I clicked on your link. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
We'll figure it out, like not on the show.
That I think that's our best is when we figure things out on the show.
We got sausage.
Yeah.
Ralph, you want a sausage?
I'm still eating my meat, so sure, why not?
What'd you have for breakfast this morning, Ralph?
I haven't had breakfast yet.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like 6 o'clock
What?
there.
Yeah, I think it's just seven here.
7.
So I used to get my breakfast around like 9:30 or so. 9.
Ralph, we don't know what we're talking about today. We
I'll
thought we
tell
might
you what
just
I have
sit
for breakfast
quietly.
every day though.
Just go through and name your breakfast.
No, I mean we
12
really.
eggs, didn't he?
Who? Ralph.
12
Ralph
eggs,
eats
that's
12
what I-
eggs in the morning for breakfast.
Every day.
12?
Every day.
Every day.
12?
Yeah, 12.
Mhm.
That's 1 dozen.
That's one. You should eat 13 just because.
That's $14 a week in eggs. That's
Wow,
if-
eggs are cheap up there.
That's
Everything
if you're
is.
getting it for $2.
The cost of living here is quite a bit less than you dumb Californians. We're really
Yeah, but we have prettier beaches.
no, you listen. You do. You got us beat there.
Is that Star Wars on your shirt, Ralph?
It is. Can you read it?
We can do
No,
this.
what's it say? Oh, I had friends on that Death Star. Nice.
He's crying. Yes.
Hmm.
It's pretty good.
Stormtrooper's crying.
Who's your
Yeah.
favorite Star Wars actor or actress? Anybody?
I don't watch it.
I have a favorite character, but not an actor or an actress.
I was in love with the girl that had the buns on her hair. What was her name? Princess Leia?
Princess Leia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I was like
She's kind of homely.
9 or 10.
He probably didn't like her until that scene with Jabba the Hutt in the bikini.
I feel like
I don't remember that scene.
Right.
I feel like there were so many other 70s women that were way hotter.
Uh-huh.
Like a Farrah Fawcett or the girl from
I had my problems with Farrah Fawcett.
the girl from Dukes of Hazzard.
Daisy Duke?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you had Heather Locklear in Fall Guy and what was the William Shatner cop show? T.J. Hooker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They had some fine ladies on television back in the
They
day.
did have some really pretty ladies back in the day. That's not like that today, right?
No, now they're trying to get girls with wieners on there.
What?
Yeah, dude, they're swimming and everything. Yeah,
They're
I know
not
you
even
don't
tucking.
Watch, I know you know. Yeah, they're not even tucking them in. It's a thing. Did you see him after he was swimming?
Yeah.
He's wearing a woman's swimsuit and his
Oh,
wiener's dangling out the front.
Yeah.
Like, come
What are you
on.
talking about?
That Leah Tom, I don't even know what's his real name. The guy who's a girl swimmer. He's claiming to be a woman. He's whooping up on all the records.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
That's not really an actor, though, is it?
no,
No, but
we totally shifted gears.
It's all the stuff that's on TV today where they want you to accept.
Yeah, we were just talking about how they used to have fine-looking ladies on television, and now it's they're trying to force feed us that we should be liking men who look like women.
Or women who are men who look like women. Yeah, you're right.
There's no women who look like men. They're not force feeding us women that look like men.
Right, right,
I can name you a million places where they're trying to take a man,
right.
a effeminate man. It's gross.
That's because every woman I know that looks like a man is a lesbian, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really.
That is true. I
Equate.
never thought about that. Yeah.
Well, I don't think that there's a whole lot of men who look like women who are trying to be heterosexual.
Right, right.
So-
Most going trans. Yeah.
So
Well, that's why they're coming after us. You're trying to. You see what I'm saying here?
Well, they're breaking down
if they're
masculinity.
after dudes, then
yeah,
see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. You're trying to get the men folk.
Bust this up.
Well, they've been doing that forever. You remember back in like the early '90s and '80s, it was like they'd wear the tight jeans and they had the long hair, and you couldn't tell from the back if it was a guy or a girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever had
So
that
you
happen
think?
to you?
So you think
Yeah.
the rock? You think the rock star hair was the first effort
Oh, I bet.
to feminize men.
Oh, absolutely. Look at Aerosmith. Come
Yeah.
on. You tell me that guy's not trying to be
No,
a
no.
woman?
Listen, I'm totally on board. I'm holding your hand walking down the path. Did
Yeah.
you like what I did there?
My brother used to have
Yeah.
my brother used to have really pretty hair. They said
My
back in the
brother
day.
had gorgeous hair.
Long. He shampooed and conditioned it.
This makes me think. Glenn Beck.
Soft.
Glenn Beck had the picture that we're talking about of him on a Wheaties box, but they changed it to weenies.
Oh, jeez. And this is the
different
male
show that they
swimmer
are.
that's breaking records in female
Oh.
swimming.
Yes, and they're letting this person have the records and win.
And they show this on TV, on regular TV, that you can see this stuff.
Yeah, the races and yes.
No, I mean, like, if he's standing there getting his award.
Oh, I'll show you we can drag it up.
See, that's crazy. But then the females couldn't take like performance enhancing drugs to
To
compete.
compete.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Yeah.
But he can have testosterone flowing
Because
through his
that would
veins.
break down the narrative. That's what we're fighting.
Yeah.
That he's different.
Well, here's what I would like to say though, just for everybody's, enjoyment here. If I were to swim in a girls' meet, I would still lose. Like, I would come in last place. I might even drown in the process because I might not make it across the first lap. So it says something that he's at least, he's fairly athletic guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that Ecuadorian eel or something like that? You know what I'm talking about? Eddie the eel or whatever.
No. Ecuadorian eel?
It's this guy, and it was like from forever ago, maybe El Salvador or something like that. But he was they were entering the Olympics, and they didn't have like a swim team, so they pretty much just said like anybody that wants to try can try, and he holds the record for the slowest win in the Olympics, and so pretty much he ended up there, but he had never really swam in anything other than like this pool that was like at a resort they were letting him use to train,
Yeah.
and he'd never seen an Olympic-sized pool where you could like how long it is. So he ends up getting there.
This
He
is
ends up
already
getting
funny.
there.
This is already hilarious.
And yeah, and the people that were supposed to be in the meet with him, for one reason or another, you'd have to like look it up, but one reason or another, all the other people in the meet ended up forfeiting for like sickness or whatever happened, and he was the only one that showed up. So they're like, "Well, I guess you're gonna win this. You just gotta swim." So the gun goes off. He swims. He's swimming as hard as he can. He gets like halfway into the pool, and he
he
realizes
runs
he's
out of
out.
gas.
So then he's like doggy paddling to the end, and then like on the way back, like he literally almost drowned because he couldn't make it, but he finally finished, and he's like the record winner for the slowest win or something like that.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's a great
Yeah.
story.
That would be me.
Hey, Ralph, can you see us?
No.
Yes.
Okay. So if I do this,
I see that.
okay.
Yes.
This
Over
is,
me.
This is
That's her.
it's him. It's him. Please say him. That's him.
I mean, not even to break down or personally attack him, but I mean, anybody in their right mind just understands this is not fair.
Like look at him compared to. Come on.
Yeah. Well, he is standing high, like on a higher thing there.
There you go.
Yeah. See, those kind of things are just.
He's not a female.
So-
I'm sorry.
So here's one of the big things that if you take away from this, and that is number one, is it not only not right for him to do that, probably just with competition and that because of that, but
He
even
won something.
even morally,
He's setting records
Oh.
yeah.
in female swimming, and
And-
they're letting him have it.
And think about the moral depravity of allowing him to be dressed like this or in this situation among women. It's just and nobody really seems to be bothered by it.
No, there's a lot of people bothered by it. the people who are driving this boat are they're force feeding it to us.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people who think this is wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down.
Right. Well, that's why, as a Christian people, we need to get the gospel out there, and somehow we have to do it in a way that loves even people that are doing foolish things. So, Ralph, you're going to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So from my perspective as a libertarian, I don't really care like what people want to call themselves or identify as or whatever. It's your freedom to be stupid. I don't really care. But when it starts affecting other people, that's when it's an issue. Like it seems like common sense to me that like, yeah, you can accept that that person wants to be identified as a female from like
Yeah,
a freedom standpoint, right?
you could
You have the
dress up
freedom
like
to
a
pick-
girl. That's whatever. Who
Right.
cares?
Yeah, but when it comes to like compete, like why do I not have the freedom to be like, oh well, you have two X chromosomes, therefore you can be in the women's meet, and you have an XY, therefore whatever you identify as, you're still a male. Like common sense is so far gone, it's just ridiculous. And then as a Christian perspective, yeah, I think it's not right, obviously, and like in the end, I'm not here to judge anyone, so I'm not going to be worried about telling them, oh, you shouldn't identify as that or this. No, it's just about trying to share God's love with them and let God do the correcting.
Right.
Otherwise, we're seen as intolerant, and I'm not saying we can't call truth. We have to do that too, but it's for me, it's not really an issue other than it's just stupidity. Like we've resorted to nonsense.
It's
all.
it's ouch my balls. It's idiocracy. We're
Yeah.
we're living idiocracy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon, would you feel comfortable sharing that story that you told me the other day about someone who shared like a video with you? Would that be not appropriate? Like, would you not be able to share that?
Yeah, I can share it.
All right, you don't have to use names or anything, but
Yeah. So someone showed me a video at work. It's like a mute.
Your stinking camera's frozen.
That's
What
all
is
right.
going on with these cameras?
This one?
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right.
So someone showed me a video the other day, and it's a music video, and it was pretty sexual, like a girl dancing, huge boobs, little waist, and I'm doing my best, like, not to look at the top of the screen, like, oh, that's a really cool video, blah blah blah, and this person's a practicing Christian or
Okay.
trying to be rather.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, hey, did you see a video of? Did you ever see Godsmack Unforgettable?
Yeah.
And as soon as I said that, I felt like it Godsmacked him. You know what I mean? It's like,
Okay.
why am I showing him this, and why am I looking at this?
Right.
Because it kind of, like his whole face, demeanor, everything changed.
So he put that video on,
Yeah.
and then was it a principled video? I'm not familiar with
No.
the Godsmack video.
No, it's just like a video where, Godsmack the band.
Right.
He goes into a school and he teaches all these kids music.
Okay.
And but I think changing the tune on him, and because we were talking,
Sure.
it really like hit him
Yeah.
kind of hard.
yeah, and the
And I
reason,
probably explained it a little better to you the other day, but
well, the reason I wanted you to share that was because, like, Ralph was just talking about the idea that the world wants us to be tolerant of things, and when Brandon was telling me the story, I thought to myself, well, Brandon could have said, hey, I'm a Christian, I don't watch that stuff. There's a lot of ways he could have responded. But as Brandon was telling the story, sometimes you look at Jesus, and I don't think Jesus came to point everybody's sin out. And I don't think Jesus came to walk around and say, hey, you're a transvestite, or you're cheating on your taxes, or you're committing adultery, and those things. I don't think he came to just stand around and be the finger pointer and tell everybody how bad they were. But when Jesus spoke to them, it revealed their sin, and then they recognized it, and then they had to deal with that. And so Brandon's story just made me think, you know, a lot of times as a Christian, I always lived feeling like I was supposed to, as a Christian, point out people's bad stuff. And that's not really my job. My job is just to lead them to Jesus somehow, and then to help them see that, you know, through the power of his Spirit. And I think what Brandon did then by saying, hey, did you see this Godsmack video, and showing him a video, and then, you know, God kind of smacking him in the face with that
It redirected
is,
the focus.
yeah.
Like, his picture was completely, his face, everything,
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to really say anything to him.
No.
Yeah.
And the video I showed him necessarily wasn't Christian.
Right.
He
You know
will
what I mean?
never show you a skinny girl.
Godsmack is like the opposite of Christian. It's literally like smacking God.
Could be.
Yeah. Right. I know I'm familiar a little bit with Godsmack, but are they Christian?
No.
No, I didn't think
would
so.
say no.
No.
I didn't think so.
I think they're a pretty decent band, though.
Yeah.
I like them.
They're
I didn't mind
they're
them.
like they're like number one hits like I Stand Alone, right?
I think so, yeah. They got some newer stuff that's pretty good, too.
Like Now I Have Friends.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's their second song.
Now I have friends.
I stand with people around me because of my diabetes foot.
So I'm gonna go a little bit farther on what Brian was saying. So I have a story that I think is a perfect example of kind of what he was talking about. So when I was going through recruiting school in Kentucky, and you guys kind of know how Kentucky people are, but
I know they don't do the Dougie.
What's the
they
Dougie?
don't do the Dougie.
It's a dance.
Down in Kentucky?
They don't do. Say what?
What's your saying?
No, it's.
So there I
That's
was
good.
at recruiting school with Blake Shelton,
Say what?
and I was going through the DFAC, which is the dining facility. Should speak real people to you guys, but they had civilian workers in there, you know, serving food or whatever. And I was in my PTs, which is like a short sleeve shirt, after doing some PT, and
That's physical
this lady
training
looks at my
for anybody who doesn't know.
Huh?
that.
For physical training for those who are not in the lingo.
yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Sorry, I thought that one was pretty obvious.
No.
No, we have to tell everything.
Okay. Yeah.
You military guys, you
So
like to
there I
talk in
was.
acronyms.
1,200 hours.
I was just finishing working out.
There you go.
Anyway, this lady looks at the tattoos on my arms and she's like, "You're going to hell." And I'm like,
Nice.
"Excuse me?" Yeah, I'm like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "The Bible says not to mark your body." And she's like, "You're going to go to hell. How does that make you feel?" And I'm like, "I don't think I'm going to go to hell because I have tattoos." I said, "And I don't think you're going to win anybody over to Christ by telling them that." And she just looked at me like, "Well, I know I'm going to heaven." I'm like, "Okay." But my point to that is, when I was an early Christian, I was judgy too, kind of like Brian was saying. And I don't know how many of my friends I lost when I first became a Christian because I had left the same lifestyle that they were in, but I was like almost too good for them. You know what I mean? That's how they saw me because I judged everything. And I think there is a fine line where like you don't need to tell people they're sinning. Everyone kind of knows. Everyone has like God speaks to people, and I think the way that he speaks most is when we're letting him speak instead of us trying to be the voice. I think Jesus lived by being an example, and that was the most convicting thing. Like you see what right looks like, and you either feel convicted and you want to change, or you feel convicted and you want to run.
Yeah. And it's better
What do
that
you guys
God does the
think?
convicting, because then when they run, hopefully they run to him, you know, instead of away. Because I think that's...
Yeah, because if we're doing it, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think you're probably going to say what I was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
If we're doing it, they usually end up running away from us and God, both.
Yeah, because we give them a reason to be mad. You can't.
Yeah.
You can fight a person for telling you that you're not correct, but you can't really fight God for when He shows you that you're not correct. You know.
Yeah, right. Right. Interesting. Well, I think as a church and as Christians, I think we're living in a world where people are running as fast as they can away from God and from morality. So I don't know how you do it other than you just live the life and you let them be what they're going to be and do what they're going to do. And yet you still have to stand up for truth. So, like some people may actually persecute us and say we're bad for even talking about this man that's breaking records in women's swimming because we're not being kind to him as Christians. Well, okay, we don't have to attack him. We don't have to attack his person, but what he's doing is wrong on a whole lot of levels. Yeah, it's not truth, and it's wrong on a whole lot of levels.
I mean, he's cheating.
Yeah, right.
I mean, whatever. Yeah. Like Ralph, I don't care if he wants to be a woman.
Right.
I think it says quite a lot about our society that a person can walk around dressed up like a woman and not feel shameful.
Mm-hmm.
We're letting mentally challenged people just act out in front of us now.
Yeah. Do it. Yeah.
There used to be a shame associated with it, and now it's like, no, let them go to work day. Let them go. It's Transvestite Tuesday.
And again, though, it's important that the shame is it's important that the shame's coming from God and not man, because like we do have a lot of false shame.
No, I don't. You didn't walk around and, I mean, I'm sure people made fun of people.
Yeah.
Okay. But the shame was God.
Right.
Okay. I know that if I dressed up like a female and went outside as a spoof, a part of my conscience would bother me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is wrong to do.
Yeah. Even if it was just at a costume party.
Yes. I would never have been allowed to.
Yeah.
Because I had friends that would. And it would be like, let's all dress up like girls. And like, my dad would have been like, no, you're not.
Yeah. Well, they had that in high school one time where the guys dressed up like girls and they came in skirts. I didn't. Like, no one told me I couldn't.
That's what I'm saying, though.
I didn't.
You felt it. You could feel it.
It's weird.
And that's
part of
really,
the programming back then.
That's where it started. Yeah. That's all that goes with. I agree with you, Ralph. It goes with the 60s, 70s rock and roll long hair thing.
Yeah. I got pictures in my yearbook of like friends of mine dressed up like girls.
In drag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't want to, but I wouldn't have been allowed to.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I always thought it was weird. So, but I'm not, I would never say anything to anyone.
Right.
Maybe when I was 20.
So
like you're saying, or Ralph was saying, I was a lot more judgmental when I was younger. Like, I felt like everybody wanted to hear my opinion, and I had to tell them, no, this is right or wrong.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, this is just how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. Take what you want from it. When I was younger, I was like, no, this is matter of fact. So I guess that'd be the difference. Mm-hmm. But
that has to do with a lot of how the kids are raised and their environments they're in.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the answer is as far other than, we just live out the example and preach the truth. And when we're given the opportunity to speak truth, we don't need to tell people, but if we're asked the question, hey, what do you think about, someone who's a man, being a woman? Well, it's wrong. God says it's wrong. He created both male and female. He created them, and he created us to rule over the creation, and you can't rule over the creation when you don't even know who you are. So,
well, it brings up all kinds of arguments too. Like, where all the feminists at?
yeah.
Don't you think the feminists would be in an uproar that a man is breaking all the female swimming records?
Do you think that?
But they're running to the defense of this weirdo.
I know.
Too, as time goes on, our testosterone in normal human beings is actually lower than it used to be in
you're saying as aggregate across the whole population.
Right.
So not only when we turn 40, we're losing testosterone. But you're saying as a population we all
are losing it,
yeah.
From the foods we eat.
So like
it's
soy boy.
Soy's like I think the number one. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
And he never
do you-
talks. I'm cutting him off.
I was watching some studies, like even from the '60s till now, like the testosterone difference was crazy.
Genetically modified soy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you defending natural soy?
Even
Well, I mean, I don't think you
Yeah.
can make. I don't think you can make the argument in some of the studies of foreign countries that have, like, original organic like soy.
Japan.
Japan, any of those places where they're all of a sudden they got low testosterone because they eat tons of tofu, and their testosterone's not the same. You know, it's not depleted like people that are eating the junk and the processed foods and the genetically modified
but-
soybeans.
Japanese are not big.
Yeah, but it does. Well, either
No.
way though, their testosterone levels can still be high in their bodies just because they're not big.
they're all small and effeminate, Brian.
I'm just saying all the crap.
Am I
we
not
eat
allowed to say that? Is that bad?
lowers it,
Yeah, the food does. Yeah,
Yeah.
the junk. Yeah,
and 90%.
We just
of it,
lost our one Asian viewer, by the way.
nice job. And then you want to try to reach people for Jesus, and now in Japan, no one's gonna come.
It was a joke.
Okay,
It was a
listen.
joke,
No,
people.
it's not a joke. Listen, how many Japanese cowboys do you know?
Yeah, but being a cowboy doesn't make you have high testosterone.
Yes, it does.
They-
Have you heard of John Wayne? Come on
Hello,
now.
What about the
man
Marlboro
died
Man?
with 2 pounds of red
He
meat
died.
in his intestines.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
Sussitin makes you have high testosterone.
Sausatin?
Sausatin,
What is sausatin?
Steroids.
Oh, can I get some?
Yeah.
straight high testosterone. It also blows up your heart.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah, so you
Too
got
much of it, though, right?
trade-offs. I don't know. They say
People with low dose like TRT stuff, they're finding it beneficial. No.
those studies are early, so I think they'll find out later whether or not it's going to have an impact on the heart. Yeah, so we'll see, because those studies are pretty early.
You,
We
You'll
did.
be-
We did lose our.
Yo-yo.
We did lose our Japanese viewer.
Nice.
I can hear you super clear on Teams. It's not like, you know how you're always like really quiet?
Yeah.
I can hear you just as loud as everyone else.
Sweet.
I just wanted to point that out.
I thought it was something with the mic, maybe.
We got Brandon speaking right down into
Yeah,
the
we
mic,
have
though,
him. I
today.
changed how he does his mic. We
So-
we always meet on.
It's much better.
We always meet on Teams.
Okay, so speaking of
Do
Ma-
we?
Yes. When I
Well-
send you a link, it's for Teams.
I do.
well, when I'm here though, I either
Well-
get him on a phone call because it's easier. I don't want to have to.
No, it's a lot of monkeying around.
Yeah, so I just put him on the phone. But hey, since we're on this whole masculinity thing, of course it's already old news. But last week at the Oscars, or this past week at the Oscars, Will Smith comes up and slaps Chris Rock in the face. Most people thought it was part of like a skit, but then when he got back to his seat and started dropping the F-bomb and telling him to keep his wife's name out of his mouth, he realized it was real. And some people are.
Did he realize?
I don't think it's real.
He's a really, really, really good actor.
Oh, I know, but nobody's claiming that it was fake. Like, it's still in the news. Will Smith is looking to be banned from the Oscars, and Chris Rock has yet to give a real statement on it, and blah blah. So I don't know. I mean, they could be letting it ride out and then finally say, "Oh no, that was all part of it."
No,
but
they're
I don't
not.
think
They're
so.
not gonna. They won't.
But-
They don't
but-
need to. They'll just like everything else. They don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, so they
It just
could have
disappears.
staged it. They could have staged it to make it look real.
Probably.
What have we talked about all this week?
Right,
Chris Rock and Will Smith.
right.
We haven't talked about Ukraine. We haven't talked about gas prices. We haven't talked about how horrible the administration is, because they're trying to reframe. Our president's numbers are so bad. They're making Carter look like a victor.
Right.
Okay, and they are trying to reframe Biden so that he can get numbers up, because they're headed for a slaughter at this fall. So this changed the narrative.
But you
This
think
this
Will
was
S-
something else to talk about all week.
You think Will Smith would be willing to ruin his whole career though for that?
He's part of the New World Order.
He's a sellout. In the beginning, he was all right, I think.
Huh.
I mean, there's video of him talking about conspiracy with the AIDS virus, with the government spraying it in
But-
subways.
But now he's in on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a total
You
sellout.
can't live that life and not be there.
Well, he is trying to find himself. You know, I don't know where he's
Do
at.
you
but
like
he-
Will Smith?
No, I don't.
You seem very defensive.
I think
No.
I did like Independence Day.
I like Will Smith.
Yeah.
I think he's a great actor.
Fresh Prince of
Just
Bel-Air.
sucks he's a sellout.
Yeah, he is a globalist.
Yeah. No, I agree that he is. I'm just saying. So
And his
then
wife really
career-
doesn't have what's that called?
a patient or
Yeah.
it's the thing where she's losing her hair.
And how much do you want to bet that Pfizer comes out with a
Propecia.
drug here in the next whatever?
It'll
and
be
that's
an
gonna,
injection.
Yeah, that's gonna be like the next big thing.
Okay.
I can't.
Well, that's
I
the
know
other thing.
you're right.
All right, so
Yeah.
time out. I know she doesn't have sores on her head, but I was just reading First Kings with my 7th grade Bible class. I was just reading in Kings the other day how when
The one that you gave the whole room of attention to.
yeah, when God was judging Judah, he told them through Isaiah. He said the women will actually get sores on their heads and they will lose all their hair, and then they will begin to smell putrid. Now, granted, this isn't that, but when we look at things that are happening in the world today, I think sometimes we say, oh, it's just a bad disease or whatever, but sometimes I think we have to think about the fact that God allows some things to happen for judgment purposes, for discipline purposes, and we just kind of leave God out of the equation. And so whatever's going on with her hair or whatever, I mean, doesn't necessarily mean that she's a bad person, but I think the more and more we see these kind of things happening, we see that the world is just falling apart at all ends. So diseases on an incline, food shortages, all these things that are happening, I think, just prove the point that God is coming in judgment,
Yeah.
and it's everywhere.
Yeah. Or we're living in lack of God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we do that, then we just get what you get.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find that video where he talks about the government spraying the AIDS virus in the subways.
Who, Will Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can find it, that'd be good.
I just saw a TikTok video this week that had, you remember the More You Know commercials?
Yes.
The what?
PSAs.
So it was Will Smith.
The more you know
What's that?
PSAs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brian was asking for clarification.
Yeah, it would be like the star, the more you know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I saw one when someone had posted on TikTok from when he was still doing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like from forever ago, and it was Will Smith talking about how you should use your words and not use your fists.
Nice.
That's nice.
That's nice.
He
Yeah.
I
technically
thought that was
didn't use
pretty
his
funny.
fist.
Yeah.
He slapped, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, yeah.
And some people are talking
for the-
about which one is the real woman, because technically, you would call that a certain slap. So as if Chris Rock was the woman, but Chris Rock took that slap pretty good,
That's why it was
And-
so fake.
and Will was like, nah.
Like if his gigantic hand, it would
yeah.
he'd be messed up.
And he put his whole body into that.
He did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Either that or Will Smith's not as tough as he was.
no, it doesn't
in
make no. I mean, just his mass,
Men in Black.
just the mass of his hand and his arm
Yeah,
striking tiny Chris Rock's face. Come
you would
on.
think. You would think,
Come on.
especially since his son is
What
a karate
kind of
expert.
slap is a certain slap, Brian?
No, I'm not gonna say
A
it.
female dog
Female
slap.
dog slap.
Female dog slap.
Oh,
I do
Dirty
try to
bastard.
choose my words wisely.
Well, we are ever since Ralph. I thought we were allowed to swear on here now.
No,
Oh, no, we're not.
we should not.
Yeah.
We should be appropriate.
that's what you said. You said be real, be you.
Let's be real.
Well, then maybe we should think about asking the Lord to change us, people. It would be a good thing that the Lord sanctify us. So this is totally off topic as Brand's looking at this. So Ralph, do you think as Christians,
Yeah.
we should be and we can sin less? Or do you think we're just doomed to be sinners and we just accept it and not worry about it and go to heaven when we die because we accepted Jesus as our Savior?
Ooh, is there option C? Because I don't really agree with either one of those.
Oh. Okay. Well, tell me what option C is and we'll decide if we like it.
So option C is I think that anytime we're trying to be sinless, or we're trying to be better, or we're making our own effort. It's kind of like when Paul talks about all of our works are filthy rags, right? Or it's not I who do good, it's God who does good in me. So I feel like we should be continually seeking God, and from
Will Smith,
our desire to be close
Hold on.
with God, our
Barbara Walters.
ability to sin less is not necessarily an effort. It's not a work that you do to earn favor. It's just something that flows naturally.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with that. And
so
go ahead.
I was going to say, so I feel like, because I know in the past, I'm like, especially, there's been times in my life where I'm like, I need to sin less. I need to try, and I get frustrated because I don't get any better, or I do get better, but then I backslide or things like that. And I think that was me trying to earn my
Access.
favor with God, or me like God accepts you where you are. I'm not saying that's not an excuse to sin, because that means you're not really like, in my opinion, that means because
In a different language.
you bear your fruits, right? Like a tree by its fruits.
Mhm.
So if you are
Yeah, why
deeply seeking a relationship with God, it's natural. It's not effort. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but
No, I hear what you're saying.
That's it.
Well, yeah, and I agree with that. And so when I made the first statement that should we sin less, I wasn't making it based on like we should try and sin less, meaning that we should try and be better people. I think that
Yeah.
as we do pursue God, He does create in us a heart that says, I don't want to do that. And then I think it comes down to personal responsibility that you have to start choosing what you want to do. I think God still allows us to have choice, even as a see. This is where I kind of I part ways with Calvinism in the sense that I think free choice is that even when God's Spirit is controlling us, He still, even when God's Spirit is influencing us, and we're living by the Spirit, we still have free will. We still have a choice, and I think it still comes down to God transform me, move me. But then when I get up in the morning, I've got to decide if I want crap coming out of my mouth. I've got to decide if I want to treat my spouse in a way that's loving or not. I think we put the responsibility on the Spirit and go, well, if anything's going to happen to me, it's God's going to have to do it. Well, yes, but that doesn't take away from my responsibility to say, okay, God, I'm going to obey your voice. When I sense I'm getting ready to say something that's not kind, and I sense His Spirit, then I got to make a choice. Do I want to say that or not? And so I have to be responsible and say it. And when I say the wrong thing, then I take responsibility and I confess that. And when I say the right thing, I take responsibility that I obeyed Christ, but I give Him full credit, if that makes sense. Now we can't hear Ralph. Hold up, Ralph.
Hold on, Ralph.
We lost you again. This is the problem with teams after
This is the problem with teens.
after 45 minutes. No talkie.
No Tucky. Nope, nothing. Nada.
You're gonna have to log out and come back in or something, Ralph, if we want to hear you.
He said I'll call you.
Just log out and log back in. Oh, dear.
Happen? That's going nuts.
That's gonna mess up some people's heads.
Oh no, talkie.
No Tucky.
He's calling. You want to just plug him in? I'm gonna have that thing down there. Just plug him in. Oops. Hold on, Ralph. All right, you're in.
awesome. So I was just saying that I think that a true Calvinist that actually upholds to John Calvin's view doesn't throw out free will. Because I believe free will is equally as I believe in predestination. I think they're both solid biblical teachings.
But
And we are held responsible.
okay.
Sorry, buddy.
Free will to be saved and to come to Jesus only, or also free will once you know Jesus, meaning that you still have free will to choose to sin or not to sin.
So both free will. So I still believe in once saved, always saved, but for me, free will is pretty much like our ownership, our responsibility. Like God already knows everything that's going to happen, so because He foreknew, He also predestined, right? From Romans. But at the same time, like that doesn't get rid of our responsibility to do things and to act, even though He knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to these daily decisions, I think that like if you're the one putting in effort and you're saying, I need to be this, I need to be that, and I'm doing my best work, then then there really doesn't matter if it is good, it is filthy rags. But when you're reacting because God is speaking to you, whether you're obeying or not obeying, that's God working through you. So I think if you're relying on God to direct you rather than you trying to do what you think God wants is a big difference.
Okay, so if I'm reading the Word of God and it says, Jesus said, hey, anyone who has lust in his heart for a woman, he's already committed adultery in his heart. And so I read that. That's God speaking to me. That's the Spirit of God telling me through the Word of God that, so you have the written Word of God and you have the living Word of God in me telling me that I should not lust after a woman. So now I don't put any effort towards doing that. I just say, okay, God, if it's going to happen, you're going to do it. Or because here's what I think. I don't think effort, I don't think grace and the ability to not sin is opposed to effort. I think it's opposed to earning it or taking credit for it. So like I said, like if I'm going to, I believe that when God speaks to me, if I'm going to obey Him, I want to obey Him. But I pray, God, give me the power, give me the strength to obey this and to do this. And then when it happens, I give Him full credit, but I don't think I'm not responsible to put any effort forth. Like so I'm just going to sit and I'm just going to go to the nudie bars and say, well, if God's going to do this, he's going to have to heal me of this because I think I should take personal responsibility and say, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go to that. So that means I'm earning that, or does that mean I'm just making a choice to obey God? It has nothing to do with effort or earning. I mean, I'm making an effort, but I'm not earning it. I'm being responsible because God told me not to do that, so I'm not going to go put myself in that position, right?
No, I hear what you're saying, and maybe I'm not saying myself correctly, or maybe I'm just wrong. Who knows? So when I think of it, I think of like, all right, so maybe I don't have a great relationship with God, and I know the Bible says not to commit adultery, so I'm just going to not commit adultery and I'm good because that's what the Bible says, that's what God says. Versus someone who is seeking God and has a relationship with Him, and he says, I love you, God, and I want to do your will on this earth, and your Bible says not to commit adultery, and because God is living in me and I have a relationship with Him, the desire to do it is lessened because He's freed us from sin. It's not an effort, and it's Him changing us from the inside, so that yes, we're still responsible for our choices, but we're able to overcome it because He is working that in us. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can put in your own effort, or you can have God do the work through you.
Mm-hmm. No,
I'm not saying we're not responsible. So, like, and it could be anything. It could be something simple like lying. Like, if I'm trying to be honest because I feel like it's the right thing to do because I'm at work and I hate my boss, and I'm like, oh, well, I better not tell him. He's a total jerk. So there's other ways to do it. But anyway, like, whatever it is that you're trying to do, if you're doing it on your own, it doesn't mean anything.
Right. No, I would agree.
It doesn't matter if it's the right thing. Yeah.
And Stephen Manley talks a lot about this too, but then when I pin him down, he's like, no, that doesn't mean you don't do anything. So I just think, like,
right.
Sometimes we get confused with the idea of like effort's a bad thing, and I don't think effort and personal responsibility is a bad thing unless you're trying to earn it, like you're talking about. Like, okay, if I try not to commit adultery, then I'll be good enough to go to heaven, and obviously that's not true.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just think, you're so no matter what, you're responsible for your actions. I'm not trying to get rid of that. And I do agree that you do stuff to make choices, but I really think it comes down to the choice of, like, I guess motivation. Like, is God working in you and you're feeling that change, or are you working towards God?
Yeah. And I think just to do a full circle, come back around to what we started off with this male that's in the female swimming thing. You know, at the end of the day, our goal is not to get that guy to say, okay, I'm a man and I'm going to get out of swimming and I'm going to dress like a man now. I think the ultimate goal is to get that guy to see that apart from Jesus Christ, he has no life. He's living in death. And that's not just for him. That's everybody in the world, whether they're a cross-dresser, whether they're a homosexual, whether they're an adulterer, whether they lie, whether they steal. I mean, that's across the board. At the end, after everything's all said and done, Jesus is not about trying to make guys believe that they're guys, although that's true. And they need to understand that they're men. And this world is deceiving people and lying to people. But when everything's all said and done, Jesus is going to say, hey, I want you to declare that I am Lord and let me run your life. And then you'll realize that you're a man. And then you'll realize, because obviously he's been lied to and he's believed a lie. And so have tons of other people in this world, not just about sexuality, but about everything. So I think, when everything's all said and done, Jesus is not going to be going, okay, well, it's good that Brandon and Matt know that they're men because that saves them. It doesn't, I mean, it's true,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. So if a person is, that's why I think the divide is being pushed. Like, I think media is pushing the divide even more because now people want to go and lynch this guy because of what he's doing, and yet Christians need to get close to this guy and help him see that he needs the Lord. Just like they've been yelling at the church for the last, 100 years, that the church is the reason why homosexuals don't come to Jesus, because the church has pushed them away and not wanting anything to do with them. Well, I think it's time that the church recognizes that, it's not homosexuality that keeps you out of heaven. It's the fact that they don't know Jesus Christ. And if they get to know Jesus Christ, then Christ will deal with the homosexuality. He will, by his Spirit, tell them and show them that that's wrong, and he will do that. So as Christians, we just need to come alongside them and tell them about Jesus and not let us be divided.
Yeah, we could read the story where the fire and brimstone falls on the town, where they're all a bunch of gays.
We could, but that's not the only sin that was there, though. That's the problem.
No, that's all of it.
We could.
Yeah.
We
But,
could.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
But you know what's interesting is because the church has preached so strongly on Sodom and Gomorrah and said that's why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because of homosexuality, the homosexuality community has come back and tried now to twist Scripture their own way and say no, it's not, you know. And granted, there was other stuff going on there,
Gambling,
but well, maybe, I don't know.
sacrificing to Baal.
Baal would have been a good one, yeah. Idol worship, yeah. Obviously, the things we know of is the homosexuality because the guys wanted to take the angels out.
How about the woman who left the baby in the woods in 1991 or 1993?
I don't remember that story.
She's on trial now.
Finally,
Yeah, but why?
I don't know.
She just had a woods abortion. Who cares?
Oh, I didn't know that's what happened.
Yeah.
I thought you meant she just actually took her baby out there and left
She did.
it. But she just had it, and then that's how she aborted it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you know, all these people are up on TV like, wow, they throw the book at her, and I'm like, I had my abortion in the hospital. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
dumb.
Right.
We live in a culture that thinks killing babies is cool,
Right.
but don't leave one in the woods. Okay?
Right.
That's a step too far.
Yeah.
You want to kill that sucker in the womb.
Yeah. And then throw it in
These
a big
people.
5-gallon or 55-gallon drum.
Well, we got to sell it, sell its parts.
Yeah, that's
Whoop,
true.
conspiracy theory. We just got to kick this off YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jaga's Child, that stone that's out there in Newberry. Have you ever seen it?
Uh-uh.
'93, they found this baby in the woods, and they didn't know who it was. How do you connect it? Well, through DNA, and they've been working the case. They've connected this woman that is now in Geauga County Court, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
It's going on right now. Yeah.
That should have been our whole story today, Matt.
Why?
Why didn't you tell us about that?
Why?
Because then we could have pulled up like the trial and watched it and everything.
I don't know that there's much to watch.
It would have been pretty boring, but
I guess I have sympathy. I have sympathy for the lady because that's 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Not that it's right, and I think she should go through the courts and have the whatever. But with our culture as bad as it is, I would think you got people who rush to the defense of this ding dong swimming as a girl. But in the same sinful culture, we can't find anybody that's sympathetic toward this lady who didn't want a baby, freaked out, threw it in the woods, and now 30 years later, we're all Facebook quarterbacking. Throw the book at her,
right.
and I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't,
Yeah.
but in our culture, in our world, like I actually have sympathy for her. I'm like, she was freaked out. Da-da-da. It's 25 years ago. It's not great, not wonderful.
Right.
But, like, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have a good point out of this. I just find it ironic and bothersome.
Right.
You know,
Especially in a world where we're killing babies by the
constantly,
millions.
every day. Yeah.
Right.
Get that thing murdered at the hospital the right way next time, lady.
That's
You're going to
interesting.
jail.
Yeah.
And it's
Stupid.
free.
Huh?
And it's free. Ain't it?
Abortion?
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
think it depends on if you have money.
They probably have some free clinics.
Yeah.
Like,
It's probably
I think it's
cheaper
free.
than fertility
I
clinics.
have a feeling that it's free for teenagers who are trying to keep it a secret from their mom and their dad.
Probably.
I have a feeling that it's free for people who don't have insurance and money. But let's just say,
You make $100,000 a year.
let's say you're a man and a wife making $100,000 a year. You're not ready for a baby yet. You're doing your career. You get pregnant. They're going to take your insurance card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to find somebody to pay for it.
Money's got to come from somewhere.
Although,
You can't just sell the baby parts
Yeah.
to make
well,
money.
Okay, so that was a conspiracy back in the day too, that they were selling baby parts. But we
It's
now
not a
know,
conspiracy.
We now know that's true, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's
Yeah.
not a conspiracy.
So,
Yeah, don't drink Pepsi.
Ralph, do you drink Pepsi?
Ralph?
No, I do not.
Oh, good.
Well, that's good.
About Mountain Dew.
What about Mountain Dew?
That's a Pepsi Cola
Nope.
product.
I drink seltzer water, coffee, and tea.
Ooh, what kind of coffee? Because there could be stuff in there.
Black Rifle. No, I don't know. Whatever kind of coffee I want.
Oh, okay. All right.
We all got to get snippy about it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to sound snippy. I don't have a preference. I just buy whatever is on sale.
so do you think they're able to kind of do an end around with the whole stem cell research? And so they say we're keeping these baby parts for stem cell research, and then they can sell them for other things kind of under the radar, and that's how they get away with all that garbage? Or do you think they just do it in plain sight and nobody cares anymore?
I don't. I think people still care, and I think they just do it.
Wow.
We are watching the leaders of this world act hellish right in front of us.
Right.
They do not care anymore.
I know.
They do not care anymore.
I know. Yeah.
They just do it.
Right.
I mean, how many outrages did we hear about? And they're pretty much all being proven right, one after another after another.
Right.
The Hunter Biden laptop, that's legit now.
Yep.
Because the New York Times published, nope, that was real. Okay, is anybody going to get in trouble?
No.
No.
Not at all. Not a
No.
bit.
And so they didn't rig the election, okay? I'm using my air quotes, Ralph. They didn't mess with the election. They've proven mathematically that if a story like that had been ruled legit during the time of the election, there's no way Biden would have won. That would have
Well,
been
they-
the story
they
that
proved
that
that-
would have been the story that knocked him out of the thing.
Huh. Interesting.
And I'm not a Republican by any means. It's just not like I'm not
I'm not
either
either.
one of those parties. I think they're both just as bad. But they proved that back when Obama won, that statistically there was more people voting for him than were registered voters in the cities where he won, like in Ohio specifically.
That stuff
made him win.
happens. That stuff happens in just about every election anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is nothing. There's nothing new under the sun. That's all I'm saying.
I think we should do what Russia does.
What's that?
I don't know. I just think we should do what it is.
They have elections. They keep electing Putin.
Yeah, but yeah. How do they keep electing him over and over again?
Listen, if you watch the videos over there, they love him.
They do seem to like him a lot.
I mean, it could be all propaganda. I understand, but
Yeah.
go ahead and I don't know. I can't.
He's got some good judo skills. I mean,
Judah.
judo skills.
I'm by no means a Putin lover, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either, but the world is gonna.
He's a very, very smart man.
To quote Donald Trump.
Let me ask you this, Matt, because I think I know the answer, but I just want it out there in the open. If you could pick Putin to be the president or Biden, who would it be?
I don't know. I don't know.
Putin.
I don't know Putin.
James Earl Ray.
I do have to tell you this. I had a conversation with a born Ukrainian this week, and I'm like, so what's going on over there? And they're bombing the crap out of my family, my aunts and uncles, and this and the other thing. And he's a very religious, God-fearing person, Pentecostal. I still don't know what that means, but anyway, I said, well, it looks to me like Putin is at least a Judeo God-fearing person. I don't know what he does with Jesus, but from what I can tell out of all the things that I've researched and studied, he is a Judeo God believing person. And the reason why why we're at war right now is he does not want to be part of the New World Order, the Great Reset, whatever you want to call it. He does not want to be a part of globalism. He wants Russia.
Pedophile rings.
He doesn't want pedophile rings. He doesn't agree with Western liberalism whatsoever. And so when
Then why isn't he locking arms with all the Muslims?
he's starting to.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He's now forging alliances with Iran, and this is what people are now saying is so dangerous. Is if we wouldn't have went in there threatening NATO like we always try to do when we need ratings, this wouldn't be a thing. And now, since Biden's not backing down because Biden needs this war, and the war hawks want this war, Republican or Democrat, Lindsey Graham's and so on. He's not going to back down either, and he's now forging alliances with Iran, China. They're talking about bringing in Mexico. How dangerous does that become for us?
Wow.
If Mexico signs up with a new Axis group, that you would call us the allies, it would be silly. But if they form another Axis power, and Mexico's one of them, that starts to get a little hairy.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to be on the side of, and Ralph, I just want to hear what you have to say about this. Are you on the side of globalism and the Great Reset? And we're basically backing the satanic side, as far as I can tell.
So this sounds like a cop out, but I don't really care.
You do care.
But I don't, because honestly, there's nothing that's going to be in my power to change, and I think that this is a necessary part of the end times, and it's going to happen regardless of our efforts. So no, I'm not on the side of it. But I mean,
Well, I don't think
this
it's
is
really
the
a
part I don't
cop
really
out.
like saying stuff.
I don't think it's really a cop out. I think we should keep our nose out of it.
Yeah.
I think it's
Like-
it's a normal part of humanity that there's wars and struggles for power and where people live. And personally, I wish the United States would have nothing to do with this at all.
I do too, but also I'm a member of the U.S. military, so am I. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to. I'm doing whatever the army tells me to do. You know what I mean? So like, am I part of the problem? I don't. Not yet, anyway.
So how do you think that?
So-
How do you think that's going to affect you? Like when the time comes and the military is a part of a one world system that says, "Hey, in order to do something, you've got to do this." Obviously, you're going to have to choose, just like all of us are going to have to choose, right?
Yeah. For sure. But
Good talking,
I guess my
everybody.
point is, yeah. I guess my point for me is I don't care because I really don't feel like there's anything that we can do at our level besides be aware, which doesn't add anything to my life other than personally fear. This is why I stopped listening to like a lot of conspiracy theory stuff, right? Because to me, it adds fear, and fear is not from God. And maybe it doesn't for you guys, but for me, it did. You know, like, oh, I need to do something. I need to change. Like, I don't want this to happen.
Yeah, but okay, but I guess at the end of it, here's the thing. I don't really give a crap either, Ralph, and I'm not in the military. And I'm going to get in my truck and drive to McDonald's and overeat and, drink too much at home in the evening and then go to sleep like I do every night and do it just fine. But we are called to comment. Our people around us ask us to have an opinion on it. So, my opinion is I wish we'd stay out of it. But since we're not, I don't know that I want to agree with the television. I don't know if...
No, and I get that.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it's like I'm more. Yes, I do have opinions, and yes, I'm anti-globalist, right, and one world order and stuff. But I also really do believe it's just going to happen either way. So I'm more concerned with like, how am I representing God than whatever's going to happen because it's going to happen. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing it from inside.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Okay.
I like your strategy.
God loves you, Ralph.
You're fighting them from within.
Hopefully I'm good. I don't know.
Put that Will Smith thing on.
All right. Will Smith time. I don't know, Ralph, you're going to hear this.
Somebody's going to hear it.
I feel like you need to hear this.
You gotta go down and unmute it.
Oh, that's Barbara.
Wah, 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 wah.
There you go. Oh, that's up.
It's not working. Why would this not work? Let me... Oh, hold on. Is that a thing?
What?
Because...
Let's just read his lips. Let me tell you what, Barbara.
Well, they do have closed caption there. I believe it's quite highly possible.
That
I can't believe we
the
can hear
AIDS
this.
virus is a result of genetic warfare testing by American agents. Absolutely.
Can we get a trackball mouse? These are really stupid.
You can get whatever you want. We're Americans.
We're Americans.
Was deliberately trying to make people ill? Ill?
Ew.
This
Hold
is
on.
pretty serious. Do you really feel like this, Will? That's a good question, Barbara. That's a serious one. Okay, well, now, because people are going to chase me down. People are going to... I believe it's quite highly possible that... Oh, this is on a loop. It's looping.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks.
I don't know why we can't hear it. It's annoying.
Well, we can just say that Will Smith will probably not be any more action movies because we're gonna know that he can't slap hard enough to knock someone down.
Right.
Really. And it's just not gonna be.
That's not even working.
No.
There's a
it's
way
not.
to do that.
There's a way to get volume because we had it in the beginning when we watched that Jesus video.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys are welcome to try your hand at this.
I could probably.
I don't know what my hand is. Like clubs,
But it's not. Now it's not working.
flush.
All right, so there we go. You read it.
I read it.
You read it.
Will Smith was a conspiracy theorist. Or was.
But I don't think you get to win an Academy Award not being a globalist.
No, probably not.
So
Here we go.
Probably not.
Can we play through here?
You can. Go ahead. You heard it here first.
you heard it here.
You felt that the government was deliberately spraying cold germs in subways, was deliberately trying to make people ill with the AIDS virus. This is pretty serious stuff. Do you really feel that?
Well, it's a good question. Well, I'm with Barbara Walters now. Oh, that's a serious one. Okay, so I gotta, because people are gonna chase me after this. People are gonna chase me. I believe that it is quite highly possible that the AIDS virus is a result of genetic warfare testing.
By American agents?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. American agents. Good to know.
We're gonna find out.
The world is coming to an end. So you better get your heart right with the Lord.
Amen, brother.
All right. That's a wrap, right?
Yep. Let's shut her down. Ralph, are you still there?
I am.
Parting thoughts. Parting words.
No, it was interesting today. I liked No Plan. It was kind of good. It was natural.
You like No Plan Friday?
No Plan. We'll never do Friday. So
We're gonna let's plan on No Plan Fridays.
Can I just tell you all that for the last 3 years, none of you have planned for a Friday. Not a single one of you.
It's true.
This is true.
to be fair, I haven't had 3 years on, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's true. That's true. Neither has Brandon. Brandon's only been here about 6 months. So. All
So
right.
I think Matt's planned already. Matt has planned.
Matt, no, I don't plan
No,
nothing.
Matt plans nothing.
I plan
you
nothing.
just planned. You said I planned to not plan Friday.
Well, that's
the
what.
plan.
No, let's plan on No Plan Fridays.
Play Friday.
I thought that was ironically funny.
But it's also still a plan.
No,
My point.
that's why it's ironically funny.
Dude, I'm tired. Why am I so tired?
I don't-
Too much tofu?
Yeah, your soy boy's coming out. You're bored.
You're eating tofu?
Oh, I do eat tofu, yes.
Buy the skid load.
You know there's soy in that, right?
Organic. Yes, of course it's soy, but it's I do
It
the
doesn't matter. Like,
Yes, it does.
No, you're not
soy
gonna.
is estrogen based.
No, it's not. That there are studies all over the place that show that soy, non-genetically modified soy, does not raise estrogen levels in the body.
I don't believe it. I think it's.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Talking about conspiracy theories.
so someone who eats fruits and vegetables and soy and doesn't have feminine qualities is different than the person that eats a
You
bunch
don't
of
think you have
processed
feminine
foods.
qualities?
But I think he's referring to moobs.
Yes.
No, but you will.
Female, or some people call them female dog tits.
No. That it's all of that stuff.
All right.
The only
Well, I
the only
don't
problem
think
with soy I have is it's
Tune
a
in
little-
next week for is soy or it's not soy boy.
It gives you a little bloat. It makes you a little bloated sometimes.
Soy makes you bloated.
Sometimes.
Makes you.
Sometimes gives you problems.
Well, if you ask Brandon or myself, all vegetables are toxins anyway. So
Yeah, that's true.
soy's just
That's
more
how
toxic.
God.
Yeah.
That's
just-
how God planned to eliminate us.
You just better hope the corn, the genetically modified corn that they're giving your meat that you're eating, that's not getting into your body as well.
Well, I eat grass-fed. Thank you very much.
Okay, and what grass are they eating? Grass that's been
Like
From Scott's?
Outside grass.
pesticides and fertilizers put
Is
on
it the grass that got away from Scott's, the genetically engineered grass?
I wonder if it is. I'm telling you, boys.
No, I can't afford grass.
We live in a messed up planet.
Yep, you're not going to get free of it no matter what you do. G5 is here to stay, or 5G.
So are you saying God made vegetables to kill us, Ralph?
I'm saying that it's our food's food, and I don't appreciate you eating it.
It's our
It's our food's food.
You're starving the cows because you're eating all the broccoli.
All right. I've got to let out some.
All right. We're out of here.
We're out, people. I got to restart this and do one of these. Go ahead. You finish out your thought.
Well, we got an error report.